Uh, yeah, I probably should have wrote something down. But so your the thing you went to, what did you call that? The convention thing? That was like a
Oh,
couple months back.
like in January. That was the Magic City Comic Con, and that was still in Miami. I don't know why it's called Magic City. I've never heard Miami referred to as Magic City. Wait, is that where the sports team, the Magics, play?
I'm not sure. I guess we could look that up.
Is there a team called the Magics?
I
I just
thought
want to, huh?
the Magics. The Magics is a oldies vocal group from the 50s. I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Orlando Magic. There we go.
Okay.
What? Or that's Orlando though, not
Yeah, no,
Miami.
that's not Miami. They have the Marlin Dolphin Heat. That's the thing. The Heat. They're from Miami,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I know sports. There we go.
And there's
Please don't make me the
dolphins.
sports guy.
We should have a sports segment to where we're like
Yeah.
talking about like I guess it's the Miami Magic Heat, I guess.
Yes. I remember when I was a boy and went to a Miami Magic Heat game. It was just quite a riveting what you call it when they take the little hand fist ball and hit it with a stick real hard. I
it,
believe they had to run around little Marseilles, if you will.
it was very magical, but it was also very hot, hence the name.
Exactly.
So, um,
Miami, yeah, Miami is what you get when the devil eats way too much spicy Cajun food and just shits out a city. That's how hot it is.
oh, yeah, uh, yeah, my buddy actually moved to Florida last year, I believe, and he's ready to come back.
The whole thing's on fire. I'm actually ready to get out of here. A couple of my friends and I are planning on moving up to Chicago sometime next year. All the winter.
All the winter.
Yes.
Yeah, I do kind of like the cold weather a little bit more than the hot,
Yeah.
but I like some of the summer activities. But when I grew up, I'm not doing those as much, and
Mm.
summer isn't that big time to where you're out of school anymore. So
Yeah.
it's just that big hot time to where I still have to work.
It's just yeah, you have to go to work covered in your own sweat and filth. And you can't wear less clothing at work, depending
Yeah.
on where you work.
Yeah, but even if you that's the thing I've always said about winter versus summer. Like you can cover up and wear like so many layers of clothing and stay
Yeah.
warm. But in the summertime, you'd be naked out there and you'll still be hot. Actually, you
Yeah.
would be hotter because you would, you know, have like sunburn on your pee pee.
Exactly.
But
I wouldn't advise dressing down to where your pee-pee was showing, no matter what time of year it was. But it is the problem you'd get.
yeah, I would not want to have that problem. That just sounds horrible.
A sunburned urethra. That's one of the more painful ailments I could think of, actually.
If this is going to end up in the podcast, our podcast is starting off on a really high note.
Yes,
Sunburn urethra.
it's a medical term. Perfectly legitimate thing to say.
um, well, I guess we can get into what we've been playing since. Have you been playing anything recently?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like that's what I always do in my free time. It's just if I'm not doing anything else, it's video games. But
Oh,
I've been real big into Rocket League.
mm-hmm.
Oh God, I love it so much. And it's such a simple game, but it's so hard just to hit the ball. Have you been playing Rocket League?
I played a little bit, like a little tutorial, and I
Mm,
actually booted it up for my son because he
mm,
was like, "You have a card game on your PlayStation," And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, I do have a card game on my PlayStation. So, and I've heard many friends talk about it and how it's kind of amazing how all of a sudden there's this free game on for PlayStation Plus that
Yeah,
all of a sudden nobody even knew about,
yeah.
and it's become like such a big hit. And it's crazy that if it wasn't free on PlayStation Plus, it probably wouldn't have been as big a hit. Like, the,
Yeah, I remember I saw it when it came on Steam, and that's how I first found out about it.
hmm
And I was like, I don't know. I see this being a lot more fun with the gamepad than on the keyboard and mouse. So I
yeah,
checked, and it just happened to be on PlayStation Network too.
yeah, and for free.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, it's so fun. The only problem I have with it is that unless they've changed it really recently and I just didn't notice it, there's not really a penalty for going into a ranked game and getting your ass handed to you for like a couple of rounds, and then you can just decide, oh, I don't want a loss on my record. I'm just going to quit. There doesn't seem to be a penalty for that. And whenever I play ranked games by myself without like some friends in a group, and the other two people like quit after we were getting like our asses handed to it was just me versus a team of three people that were just wanting to get there win counts up. That's the only real problem I have with it.
hmm
But I'm sure they can figure that out.
Yeah,
And then the non-ranked games are still real fun.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely need to try to get into that with some friends because I see that you can kind of in this split screen to where I know it's like a two-player split screen, but I think it's might go up to four. Like it's pretty crazy.
I know there's split screen, but I haven't tried it, and I don't know if you can go online with it.
Oh, okay. Because the one thing against split screen that people are trying to like go towards um, online only, it it's that if you go towards online only on some of these games,
Hmm.
the longevity of the game is also just like cut in half because like if take any shooter that you can think of that
Yeah,
is really fun but nobody's playing it anymore,
right.
it needs to have some sort of like local connection to where if you and your buddies want to get in and play um, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but
Like Jedi Academy,
yeah,
if I'm just do a duel.
you it needs to have some sort of local connection to where you can either
Hmm.
split screen it or system like do a LAN or something.
Yeah.
Because if it's online only and they shut down the servers, then the game's done. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it's
I
just true.
remember when what version of Halo was it where like they were shutting this was it Halo 2 when they
hmm
were shutting down the systems and there was just this party that just kept playing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they were trying to shut down the systems because they try to get the 360 more advanced or something. I don't even
Mhm.
know if they ever like they raised the friend list cap or something, but I don't even think they ever did that. But I don't know. But yeah, like but still like Halo 2 still had split screen and LAN support. So
Mhm.
but because I think like like a lot of EA games do that to
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
the servers get shut down. And I really wanted to play Burnout Paradise with a buddy and I couldn't. You know what I mean? And because I
Oh
remember
no, did they shut that down?
I I think because when I go on Steam and like the store isn't up there to get that legendary pack with like the
Mhm.
Ghostbusters car and stuff in it. I had to get that
Okay.
off of Amazon as a code and put that in like Origin to to get that. I couldn't get it off the actual store because the store had been
Right.
shut down. But I don't know if the so I haven't even tried it because I thought that it was shut down because of that because I heard that EA was really bad about that. And then when I saw the store wasn't up, so I guess I should probably research that a little bit more before I really put that in there. But yeah, I just don't know if it's completely shut down. But or a
I used
game
to
like
play Paradise all the time.
yeah, I think I played with you a lot
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But but yeah, because it was super fun with like just like one person and you're like and the Xbox camera is going and someone will smash into you and you just like flick them off and it was pretty awesome. But
I never had the camera though.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I had some buddies that we all had the little camera, so we were just like every time like one of us was, it would like show whoever you hit, it would show their face on your screen, so they can like you know
Oh, like bask in the glory of your defeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
So so it was pretty fun, and it still holds up on Steam and everything. So
Mm.
because I played some of the single player things, and Aiden really likes playing that because he can pretty much do whatever he wants to, and he's not forced to actual like do anything, you
Mm.
know. And plus, he's a really big fan of Ghostbusters. So
That well, who isn't?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He really loves the Ghostbusters video game,
Mm.
which I thought was a really good game. Have you played that or?
Yeah, yeah, I played that a while ago, the PC version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I thought the story was decent, and the action was fun. Um, all the cool little collectibles too,
Yeah.
and kind of a throwback to like apparently it was very similar to the way the original script read.
Mm-hmm.
Like the original script for Ghostbusters, where it got uh, changed a whole bunch
Yeah.
with the going through different dimensions and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I knew that like it being a video game versus a movie, there would
Mm.
have to been more action parts because you have to
Right.
play a play a game, and you watch a movie, so the movie would have more talking parts and things like because the
Mm.
movie's like a big cutscene.
Exactly.
But which speaking of adding
Mm.
cutscenes, are you getting the next expansion for Destiny?
No, 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 no. I gave up on. I still haven't gotten the first expansion for Destiny. Uh, yeah, I don't. I just don't really like that model. I already paid $60 to play the game, and now they want me to pay like $20 here, $20 there to keep playing the game.
Yeah, I really didn't like the first. I mean, no, I scratched that. I did like the little content that they did have on the first expansion.
Mm,
I just thought that there wasn't enough of it, and I liked the first raid a lot more than I did the first expansion raid
mm,
when, but because the first raid it was like there was so much to do and it was so cryptic, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But the second raid it was more based on action. Like the first part in the raid, you're just running and like and fighting all these thralls and everything's coming at you,
Right.
and that's basically it until you get to the next part, and it's a little cryptic, I guess, to figure out what to do, but
Mm,
like it definitely was more based on action, and it I didn't like it as good, but the final boss battle was pretty cool with the music and all because once
mm,
like someone would have to get down his shield with the sword, and then you can like no, you had to like shoot at him with rockets, get down his shield at a certain time, and then once that would happen, like the music would come up, and it would be like it how they scripted that was pretty cool.
mm. Okay.
But
Yeah.
but the but the second expansion they didn't have a raid, they had a wave mode, which was
Like
I thought
survival kind of thing, or.
yeah, but it had like five waves, and then the last wave was like a boss fight,
Mm,
and it was really fun. I thought it was a nice departure from the raids and whatnot,
mm,
and then they also changed up to where like in the raid you would have to get your you would have a RNG to get a piece of gear, and that gear would have light, and that would
yeah.
level you up. Well, in the new one, you would get an armor core that was guaranteed you, and you would turn that into the vendor who had a certain armor piece he was selling that week to
Okay.
exchange it for that. So you were pretty much guaranteed your piece of armor, and you knew what piece of armor you were getting. So it was a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, that sounds a little more fair, but. Mm,
But now with this new expansion, they're taking light completely out. Like you're going to be back to like the new level cap will be at 40, and to get to 40 would be XP. It's not none of this like craziness anymore. but because I guess they thought it was too confusing. And for one, I thought that if they really wanted to beta test the game, they should have had it as like an early access game, or at least, I mean, they would have to because they
Yeah,
didn't beta test any of that in-game stuff. You know,
really.
they just beta tested up to level 8, which was nothing. So we got the taste of the reason like most people got into the game is they got into the beta, played to like level 8 with thought, man, this gameplay is really good. I
Mhm.
had a lot of time, getting to level 8, and but then after you get to level 20, it was like, what do I do now? And then you were like getting a couple of pieces of armor here, and all of a sudden it just slowed down to this like grind of
I mean,
and
the one thing I really liked about Destiny was that it was very nostalgic for like it was a first person shooter version of the old Fantasy Star Online for for Dreamcast
mm-hmm,
is what I always thought of it as, and it was yeah, it was fun in that aspect. I really regret that I never actually got to do like the first like initial way or raid. Like I never was able to get like a group together for that.
mm-hmm.
And I always thought that would be fun to do, but then yeah, obviously yeah, since I haven't done the raid, I've just never had an opportunity or incentive to go get any of the expansions. Yeah, but yeah, what I remember of it, it was fun. It's just I don't want to keep paying more and more money to keep playing basically the same game.
Yeah. Well, well, I guess it's like if there was a subscription, then it would be like free updates, I guess, like a regular RPG or MMO or whatever. And
Yeah.
then so I guess, but the $20. Well, I got the season pass, so it was I paid less than $20 for each of them, I guess. But still, in this new expansion, it's $40. But it's supposed to be about the same, like almost doubling the content of the game. Like it's like kind of like Destiny 2, sort of, because they're
Okay.
considering this expansion in September, which it's a year after Destiny came out, to be year 2 of Destiny, because it's supposed to be like a 10-year type deal, which
Okay.
you know after 10 years there's going to be a lot of money put into Destiny if you keep playing it, but still. But I think what was unsettling to a lot of people is when they got the game, even me who was really excited about the game,
Mm.
and I think that's who it hurt the most is the people that were really excited about the game, and the people that weren't as hurt is the people that kind of just came in, you know, like, hey, a buddy said, hey, pick up this game, it's pretty cool, and then they didn't like see it from its development and felt like that they didn't get promises that they thought they would. But
Mm.
I just compared it to games like Fallout 3 or Mass Effect or anything,
Okay.
and say like in Fallout 3 I had more to do in one city than this game gave me in like 3 planets and a moon. I, like
And they never changed the gravity for either
yeah,
world. That always annoyed me so much. Like when I first got it, I was like, "We're gonna go to the moon. I can jump so many times higher." And then nope, nope, nope. Just another level. Don't get excited, Brett.
they probably, and I think they justified that to say, oh, it's the Traveler, everything's changed because of the
Yeah,
Traveler, but
yeah. Okay, okay, game. Okay.
yeah, I thought it was like the prettiest part, the prettiest cutscene in that whole thing is like the beginning thing with they're on Mars and stuff. But I still
Mm,
think it's funny how this was before they even found the Traveler. They're just
mm.
it's like now. Our like our
Oh, you mean the trailer that came out?
yeah, where they're like
The astronauts with assault rifles for some reason.
yeah, because I was like they have assault rifles and they're supposed to. They're not expecting anything but just walking on Mars. So and I think they had. It looks like they had the Suros. It looks like.
Mm. What
But
was it? What's your favorite faction to fight on Destiny?
well, I really liked Dead Orbit because they
Mm.
were kind of nihilistic and like
Oh no no no! I meant like the bad guy factions. Like what was your favorite to fight between
oh
like yeah.
um actually, if you asked me when the game first come out, I'd probably say the Hive. But now I think the freaking Fallen are pretty damn cool because they're like really um that they almost have their own clans, and some of them are against each, like they're really complex, and plus they just look cool. Like the if you notice, like if you get killed by a fallen or any enemy, it would tell you what sect of that enemy it is.
Yeah.
The ones like inside the hive chambers or whatnot,
Hmm.
they're not even really part of the fallen sects anymore. They're called the exiled, and they're like supposed to be
Right.
like insane, that they're like living with the hive almost.
Hmm.
And because there's the house of the devils, which is the ones like on Earth right when you first start, and
Hmm.
then the house of wolves, which is the ones you fight in the expansion, who were who the queen had like killed their leader, and then they took side with the queen, and then they something happened. Well, you know how the like Destiny, like they don't really explain anything too much, but
Right.
if you go and read the grimoires, like
Hmm.
there is story there. It's just not really in the game.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Like some of those grimoire cards are really well written,
Hmm.
and oh, and also the whole thing that they're actually taking Peter Dinklage completely out of the game now,
I did hear about that. Yeah. Uh,
which I mean,
they're replacing the dialogue that he's already done, or
yeah, like all of it.
weird. Okay.
the I thought that was weird because, like, yeah, it wasn't a great performance, but it also wasn't great dialogue. I mean, look what he had to work with. Just
Right.
if you're in like a what was it called, a public event, how better can he say, "All right, let's do this"? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, like he didn't write it. He just like, "Hey, say this." But so, and he's supposed to be a robot anyway, so he's going to be monotone. So I don't know. And they could have like someone. I mean, I didn't come up with this. So, but there was another podcast I listened to, and someone said that they thought it'd been cool if they did a whole thing, because he pretty much didn't say anything through the last two expansions.
Hmm.
So, and chronologically, the Vault of Glass would have been after the last thing that you did in the main story. So,
Yeah.
if say his your ghost was actually damaged during the fight with Atheon, and then he couldn't talk, and he finally fixed his voice, and he had a new voice, like, and all of a sudden he was able to talk again, and he was like, I have a new voice emulator or something. So they could have did that in a different way than like completely erasing what they did.
Right. It just seems strange to like kind of have to completely redo that and change the main game that you got initially. That just seems odd.
Yeah, because I've never seen any sort of, and I am one of those that, you know, says like, the games is art type dude,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never seen any like art form ever like just go back and change their old episodes or old films to because there was a change in a later film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of with given the uh, given the police officers walkie-talkie instead of guns instead of in ET.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that whole
Well,
thing. That's kind of what it's like.
yeah. Well, I have the ET DVD that has both versions, and I don't even watch that new version because it's not even about the walkie-talkie thing. That CGI ET is freaking scary. Oh my god, it's pretty horrifying. But but yeah, enough about Destiny. The uh, I'm trying to I'm doing a extra life thing,
Mhm.
which I did it a little bit last year, but this year I thought, hey, it's pretty much all year. It, your account is up all year, so
Mhm.
I might as well just do one every like 3 months, because I enjoy playing video games. I might as well play them for 24 hours one weekend. So,
Yeah.
so
And what
tomorrow
is the extra life? What does that raise funds for?
it raised funds for the Children's Miracle Network, but
Okay.
you get to choose um, which hospital you want to fund. So
Yeah.
so and I actually donated on one of mine, and on my credit card thing it says Miracle Network, and it goes to, it doesn't say like Extra Life Chase Langdon
Mm.
or nothing. So I mean it goes to, if it's donated on my account, it would go to the Duke Children's Hospital.
Right.
So if it's someone, in Illinois or something, they would, pick their own. So it's not like something that they just set up. It like you get to choose your own hospital, which is pretty cool.
Mm.
Because 9 times out of 10, you either have someone who that has a kid there, or someone who knows someone. I mean, because it's you know, which I
Right. Right.
actually was
Right.
talking about this at work, and the person I was talking about was like, "Hey, my nephew is actually at Duke right now." So I was like, "That's cool." Well, not cool that they're there, but it's cool
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's cool that it could possibly go to help them. But yeah, like you just like stream. I mean, with every like charity, you need like some sort of gimmick, I guess. But I guess I don't have to play video games for 24 hours to actually raise money for it, but
Hmm.
I guess it initiates the
The
thing.
the interest and the awareness.
Yeah. So, but yeah, tomorrow I'm getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be live on Hitbox from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. So there we go. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow, like whenever, like we can try to play something too.
Cool. Cool.
Because I do know that
I mean,
around,
I'll be free later in the day. We got a friend from out of town coming in.
okay,
Yeah.
the because around 9 or so I'm going to be playing some Dying Light with some buddies. I don't know if you have that game or not.
I've been meaning to take a look at that. What's that one about? That says the zombies.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
zombies, but it's it's by the developer of
Oh yeah,
Dead.
Mirror's Edge, right?
Well, no, it's by the
No.
developer of uh, what is it? It's by the developer of Dead Island, and
Right. 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 Right.
but yeah, the Mirror's Edge thing, it is it does have the parkour in there to where
Hmm.
you do run across, but to
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
it feels less like Mirror's Edge and more like a first person Assassin's Creed, I guess, because you're
Okay.
like running across buildings and stuff. Because, oh, excuse me, because in the beginning of the game, I think some people, it deterred them away from the game because they were like, "This game's
Hmm.
too hard. Like, what the hell? I'm beating the crap out of these zombies. They're not dying." But in the beginning of the game, they really wanted you to level up your agility because you have three little trees to level up,
Hmm.
like most action RPG, well, like open world, like non RPG open world games, you have like
Hmm.
the three trees, I guess, like Borderlands, and then it one's agility, one's the combat one, and one is like survival, I guess. And then so if you were like kicking ass on the zombies in the
Hmm.
beginning, then nobody would ever probably level up their agility. So in the beginning, like the zombies will kick your ass. Like you have to run from them. You're gonna like run across the ceilings and
Hmm.
everything. And it just like in Dead Island, you can pick up a crowbar or something and slap some batteries and some um, baking soda on it and
Hmm.
make some like electrifying toxic wand. You know.
And you have that on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah. It
Okay.
it's actually a game I bought with my PS4. So
Okay.
I actually I didn't completely finish it. I had one more mission to do, and
Hmm.
I was wanting to finish it with a buddy of mine because we were playing it together, and we never finished it. And then someone else told me that the last mission is you have to do it by yourself, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
I should have just did it by myself then. But tomorrow I'm not going to be finishing it either because I'm playing with some guys who have just started it
Hmm.
or have, yeah, the guy that we're probably going to do on the save of is He just
Mm.
started it. So, and your weapons do deteriorate over time. So, but there's plenty of freaking weapons all over the map, and
Right.
I think they regenerate and all that kind of good stuff. And there's a DLC for it that was like a horde mode or something. I didn't play
Okay.
it, but I did get the season pass when I bought the game, and then but there's a new DLC that's coming out that looks really awesome. I might have shared the trailer on my Facebook, but it it seems to open it up more, and there's going to be some vehicles and stuff, and
Mm.
it looks a little bit more silly, but it looks really fun.
All
When
right. Yeah, I've been meaning to give that a shot. I might download that tonight actually if I can.
and
Uh,
it the game really looks really pretty too. Like
mm.
especially they did really good on the fire mechanics, and they're you're going to use fire quite a bit too.
Or are they like trolls? You have to use fire or a whole bunch of firepower to kill them.
Well, there's some like, did you play Dead Island at all?
I played like a demo of it.
Well, like there's some, well, there's like three or four different types of zombies in Dying Light. You have
Mm.
the regular walkers that, you know, they can, hit you and grab you and
Right.
pin you down and stuff.
Mm.
And then there's the virals, which the ones that run, and they're actually they're not completely zombified.
Mm.
So sometimes you'll be like beating the crap out of them, and they'll like click back into a sane mind and beg you not to kill them and stuff.
Oh no.
And so when that first happened to me, I was like, "Holy fuck!" you know. I was like, "Am I not supposed to kill this person?" And then they started trying to eat me again. So I was like, so that
It's
was like
awful.
really sad, but but yeah, it was. And then there's like a bigger type of zombie that has this huge like hammer
Mm.
like thing, but it's basically like a piece of scaffolding and some concrete, and you pretty much have to like set them on fire or like you know,
Okay.
but so
Trolls.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been avoiding the zombie genre for a while now. I think it's I've avoided it long enough that it might not be as old as it was for a while.
Yeah, because like it didn't really get too old for me because I didn't play that many of them. I
Mm.
remember when Left 4 Dead came out, there really wasn't many zombie games out, so I was like really excited about that. And I actually still play Left 4 Dead every now and again
Mm.
because I'll just get into the campaign and put it on easy and
Mm.
just like relax and kill some zombies. And
Right, right,
then
right.
the but I never played any of the Dead Island games. So I never really got into those.
Dead Rising was fun, just because it didn't take itself very seriously.
I actually that's the did I say Dead Island?
Yeah, you were saying Dead Island.
Oh well, yeah, Dead Rising is the one that
Okay,
I didn't really play too much of.
okay.
The
Yeah, it was it was real silly.
because yeah, I just never like played too much of them. I might. Are they good enough to go back to like at this point in time, or would I be like,
If you can find like the original Dead Rising, it's worth a play because it's not just about killing a bunch of zombies. That's a huge part of it. That's the most time consuming part of it. But then you're also this journalist, and you have this camera, and you're going around. You need to find like a big part of the game is taking certain types of photos
mm-hmm,
to publish later, and you get experience for getting the right kinds of photos. But then you also get uh, points for saving survivors, and you have to lead the survivors up. And they have the worst AI. Like they just do the dumbest thing and the dumbest kind of stuff. They will just die because they get stuck in corners, and you're like, why did you even go that direction?
yeah, like
Yeah, it's an experience.
yeah, even like Dying Light would have these people that you need to escort them places, and I guess now that I can like I have a sword that sets things on fire that
Mm,
I can do it now. But when I first started the game, I tried to escort someone, and I was basically just like running over roofs and stuff. And
mm,
that like freaking dude with who hasn't ate in like 3 days,
mm.
is trying to fight every zombie in path and like dying. I'm like, dude, come on, just run with me. Let's go. you know.
Right.
But but yeah, I hate having to escort people. But because normally they don't. It's like they don't want to be escorted. They want to die.
Oh, what is that new game that was at E3? I forget what it was called. It looked like it was the same people that did Ico, Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, I might need to let me bring up an E3 thing because there might be some. The Last Guardian.
That's it. Oh, that game looks amazing. And it looks like it's one long escort mission where you're the thing being escorted.
Yeah, yeah, that looks really good.
Oh,
Like,
I can't wait for that.
all right, let's see. Thanks, IGN. I don't. I want to look at what I'm looking at, not what you want to show me. Okay. Um,
Yeah, that gameplay trailer that they put in was really amazing.
have you seen much on Battleborn?
No.
It's a new game by the developer of Borderlands,
Mm.
which let me bring this up in a new tab. See if I can.
And I like Borderlands.
Yeah, I do too. I was
I
actually
like
really
the second one a lot more.
yeah, like as a story and things. Like I really did like the first one, and
Mm.
like the first one's kind of hard to go back to because
Mm.
you'll see how there really wasn't that much to the first one.
Right.
But I think the first one was necessary to like the story of the first one is you're a vault hunter, go kill a bunch of stuff and find
Mm.
this vault and die. you know, but
Yeah. Yeah.
because let me see.
I, Amanda Green.
I did this on IGN, but I probably could have went to. Here is. I probably should have went to YouTube, but there's the IGN link for the Battleborn. It's one of the Battleborn trailers. I'm not sure which one it is. Is that is the video working?
Looks like it's trying to load, but it's not actually showing anything.
Well, let me search it on YouTube then.
My daughter.
All right, here you go. Okay, the games that pop out at me on this list is the, of course, Barbie and her sister's Puppy Rescue, which comes out for Wii U, Wii,
You know
3DS, and
what? That sounds like a winner. I think that is going to break every record. I think 10 out of 10 game of the year. I am predicting Barbie and her pets doing things the game.
Xbox. The only thing I can say about it is it's not on this generation. It's on 360 and PS3.
Mm.
But you know, I'm thinking about selling my PS4 because I'm not going to need it anymore. Because I just use my PS3. But but well, we have a well, yeah, I get it for the PS3 and the 360, so I can get the achievements and the trophies.
Mm.
That'd be good. But anyway, Batman Arkham Knight, which is already out.
Mm.
I haven't played that yet, but everyone that has played it hasn't talked about it at all because they say that every like major story point is like a huge spoiler, and like I don't know anything about the story because the whole story is a spoiler. Like it's like nothing but like turns every second. So it
I
seems.
think I think I could describe it in a way that's not super spoilery, but also not super helpful.
Uh huh.
Scarecrow threatens to detonate a fear gas bomb,
Uh-huh.
and you have to stop him. And then I think that's the only non-spoilery way I could put it. Again, not super helpful.
Yeah. So you have played it though.
Yeah. It's gameplay wise, um, it's more of the same. So if you enjoyed that, it's great. But you do get you do actually get to drive the Batmobile in this one,
Hmm.
which it's really weird because uh, they try to explain how you can recklessly drive around and hit people,
Hmm.
but not kill them because the Batmobile is electric and just stuns them, even if you hit them going like 60. Okay. I mean, I get that Batman doesn't kill, but you still want us to drive a car around. Okay.
Batman doesn't. It's not that Batman doesn't kill; it's that Batman can't kill.
No.
He's like in lie, like the guy in Liar Liar where he can't lie. Batman his son had a little birthday. And it's like, please, I don't want my daddy to kill anymore.
Which is the biggest spoiler of all, that Batman has a child. You guessed it, on the nose.
And he's about to lose his child to uh
Child Protective Services, because he is very abusive. Worst dad.
and his old wife is about to marry Carrie what's his name?
Elways,
Yeah.
Carrie Elways
Yeah.
is yes, Carrie Elways is in Arkham Knight. You think he's dead, but it turns out that he's only mostly dead, and he's sticking around because of true love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just mixing in all of the two movies that I know Carrie Elways was in: Liar, Liar, and Princess Bride. And also, he was on a couple of episodes of Psych, and that's his entire career.
he does well. He was in the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, right?
Oh, that's right. No, Men in Tights, the
Men,
Mel
Men,
Brooks parody.
oh yeah, Men in Tights. So he was.
Three. There we go.
Oh
Three
yeah,
things.
I think he was in Saw, wasn't he?
Oh my God, that's right. Oh, he was the dude, one of the two dudes that was in the room. Okay, you know what? I'm giving Carrie Elways way too much shit. He has done things.
Well, okay, going on Battleborn.
Yeah,
The
let's actually talk about the game.
okay, and then let's see. Brothers of Tele. I thought that was already. Oh wait, I guess it's coming to
What?
PS. Brothers of Tele Two Sons. I guess it's only on here because it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh God, that game was just so massive. Isn't it supposed to have like some sequels coming out?
I'm not sure, but this one is the original. I guess it's coming to console because I guess it was just on PC.
That was a wonderful game. I love that game.
Actually, it's coming to iOS and Android. Like,
How do you do that?
huh? And then Black Ops 3.
Hmm.
Are you in the Call of Duties anymore?
No, not anymore. Maybe if they finally go back to the World War II roots, or maybe if they did a World War One Call of Duty, I'd be all over that.
I would want to play the what were the Ottoman Empire.
Prussia, good old Prussia.
But I want to play as the Ottoman Empire as Ernest portrayed them in Ernest Scared Stupid. We're the Ottomans and you're not. Let's see. Uh,
just give me a dogfight with old biplanes, and I'm just shooting with those with one of the original machine guns from the front seat. That would be a game worth playing.
there's Dark Souls 3. Have you played any Souls games?
Yes, yeah. I really love Bloodborne. I think that's
Yeah,
yeah.
because I knew that they were all super hard and whatnot that would make me like want to pull my hair out. But Bloodborne, at least
It's very accessible
because it
compared to the others.
it looks like something I would be into, like story wise or like
Mhm.
aesthetic wise. When the Dark Souls games was more like a really hard Skyrim or something. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
know, it
those
was like
yeah.
in the Elder Scrolls, like like fantasy,
Mm.
like deal. Which I mean, I'm into that stuff, but I wouldn't want to play a
Like
really
the medieval fantasy kind of era.
yeah like when I don't think I've ever known a game like Dark or like Bloodborne that's about like that's so like Poe like it just
Yeah,
looks
very
awesome.
Victorian Gothic. Uh, that kind of mood.
And whenever I hear the
Cultists.
names of like the villains or the bosses, I'm like, dudes, that's just like the best names for bosses ever. Like I don't even know them off the top of my head, but if I heard them, I'll be like, yes. Like there's
And
one that's like something mother or and this like I don't know, but
very, very Lovecraftian too,
yeah,
compared
yeah.
to the others.
There's there's a game called Death Tales coming out for the Vita.
I don't keep up with the Vita stuff.
There's a game called Cuphead coming from out for Xbox One, and the
Hmm.
publisher is also called Cuphead.
What is Cuphead?
I don't know, but there's a new Deus Ex coming out called Mankind
Ooh,
Divided. Um,
okay.
the Destiny expansion.
Maybe
There's
they'll maybe
a
they maybe they'll learn the mistakes of Revolution and actually reward stealthy or diplomatic gameplay.
yeah. I never finished Revolution. I really wanted to like it. I liked it a lot
Hmm.
actually until I got to this one boss that I just I was completely stealth, and all of a sudden there was
Yeah.
this dude with a big machine gun, and I was like,
Yep.
"What do I do?"
I think I know the boss. No, wait. I know I got through it, but I was stealth build too. I think at one point I had to do like this really cheap sort of lay mines and run tactic, which I was also trying to do like kind of like a pacifist run, like only knocking people out.
Yeah.
So that wasn't helping me either because you have to kill all the bosses.
Well, I think on the PC, like the director's cut, they actually patched it to where some of the bosses you can stealth kill the bosses. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's more ways to do that. Like say there's a boss with a gun, you can get in and like gas him or something from the or whatever. But I haven't played the director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you bought the regular edition on PC, then you can get the director's cut for like super cheap. And I was thinking about just getting the director's cut on a Steam sale, so I get it even more cheap for like $1 or
Mm-hmm.
something. But
Yeah, you have to wait for
I,
next himself.
I also but then I started playing it and just using the cheat codes for like the little computers, but because I was like I'm just gonna like just I'm gonna do a like a combat build, but still be stealthy. It's just I'm just gonna like use cheat codes for the computers so I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
actually get those things. But then I was like, with that game, since that game was so hack oriented, I actually felt like using the cheat codes and actually typing in the codes in the computer
Mm-hmm.
was like canonical to the game itself. Like it actually felt like I was an actual hacker, like
Mm-hmm.
going in and using code. So it actually felt it didn't feel like I was cheating. It felt like it still made me feel like I was immersed in the game, which was
Mm-hmm.
actually kind of cool. Like if you want to play it like that, like
Mm-hmm.
that you know that because sometimes if you actually do have to use look up something, oh, it takes you out of the game because all of a sudden you're told, oh, you got to do this and this and this, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're like, well, I didn't really get to immerse myself in that part, but at least I got past it. But doing
Yeah.
the cheat codes on the computers or actually looking up the codes for it actually still feels like I'm playing a game, but like I don't know, it was kind of cool how it felt. Um, there's a special edition for not Far, Devil May Cry 4.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Yeah.
they're revamping that. Dishonored 2. the Disney Infinity 3.0, which adds Star Wars and stuff.
Okay.
The Division, and the Division. Like there's a lot of friends that are like really into this, and like, have you heard anything about this game?
Is no, what's the division?
Um, it's kind of a game to where it's post-apocalyptic, and it's sort of, I guess it's sort of MMO-ish to where there's other players, and but what kind of like irked me about the trailers, I guess, is it was like it was supposed to be real players, but they were
Hmm.
talking so, um,
Formally or
it,
informally or
it was not informal at well, it was too informal. It was like
okay.
it was like they were larping. They were like really like into it to where they were like, all right, come on. It was just like it was like I don't know. It was just too much, but because nobody would actually talk like that because everyone was like, hold on, I gotta let me eat this sandwich. You know, they weren't. They were like really talking like they were. I thought it was supposed to be AI, but it was not supposed to be AI. It was supposed to be real players, because and then they go through and they're in this area and they're trying to like loot this area and they're all teamed up, and then your teammates can turn against you and take all your stuff. And I was like,
What?
I don't want to play anything like that. Like like I would like lose friendships over that shit. You know. So, but let me see if I can find it. Did you ever get to watch the Battleborn thing, or is it still not playing for the
Oh,
YouTube?
yeah, it started coming up. That it looks kind of like a Team Fortressy style thing,
Hmm.
or does it have MOBA aspects?
I'm not really sure actually, but I think it may be like a bigger Borderlands. I'm not really too kind of sure, but I did get the whole MOBA feel to it.
Hmm.
Like I thought, um, is this a first person MOBA? I didn't know, so I want to hear battle. Well, here's one that says Battleborn official co-op campaign walkthrough. So it might not be a MOBA, but they might be MOBA modes. I don't know.
Hmm.
Let's see. But we just talked the division.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I've never been a big MOBA fan. I could never get into them because like the communities are so um, exclusive. Like they're really hard to get into. Like it's hard to
Hello,
learn
everyone.
the ropes because every match you have players that expect you to
With Pulse
know
and Healing
exactly
Grenade.
what you're doing, even
Megan
if it's like your
is
first
DPS,
couple of
so
times
she
playing. I've just never been able to get into them.
Yeah, I couldn't really get into it either. Like, even like one that was like more accessible, like Smite, I still couldn't get into it.
Hmm.
3 or 4 Rikers. Looks like.
Okay, here we go. This is it. To actually get what I was talking about, you have to listen to actually watch it with the sound on and stuff.
Hmm.
But it, I don't know, and you'll see the whole like turning against your teammate at the very end. Like I was like, I don't know, because I haven't been really into games like if I heard that they're like Daisy and stuff like that. If I heard that like other players can actually like take kill me and take my stuff,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it because I know that that's one reason I don't really play GTA Online that much because I want
Hmm.
to get in and play with friends and
Yeah.
like rob stuff and do cause havoc. I don't want to get in there and every 5 seconds some dude snipes me. Like I'm like,
Actually, it's not that bad because you can do passive mode,
yeah,
um, which means you can't shoot anybody, but nobody can shoot you. It's a little ridiculous if you get like the NPC cops on your tail,
uh huh,
but also when it comes to like money and stuff, the most lucrative jobs you can take are the heists, and everything you get from the heists are in like the tens of thousands of dollars, and that's just for being not the boss, like one of the hired hands,
hmm,
and that goes directly to your bank account, and that's like safe money that people won't get if they try to kill you.
oh
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there are like there is an effort to like keep your stuff safe. So you're rocking around with like $10,000 in your wallet instead of your bank account, and someone kills you. Yeah, they'll get that $10,000, but it's pretty easy to just sort of enter passive mode at least long enough to like go on your phone and access your bank and like stuff all your money there. And even if they like, I think the most annoying thing somebody can do to you is blow up your car,
Hmm.
and you can it's. I think the system, at least from my experience, is if there's just one of your personal vehicles that's destroyed, there's like no charge whatsoever with the insurance company to get it repaired and sent back to your garage. But like if you have multiple things that you have to claim at once, it costs more in-game money.
Oh, okay. Because I remember a buddy of mine, like there was somebody like going around and killing him over and over and over and over. He was like
Mm,
completely trolling him, and he just took a rocket launcher and blew his car up, and then
mm,
he actually got banned from the game for a week for blowing
mm.
that dude's car up. And he was like, so it's okay for him to completely troll me and ruin my experience, but it's not okay for me to blow his car up. But but it but
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a
I need to get back into it. I actually never owned it on PS4. I had it on PS3,
mm.
and I need to.
Did you ever get to do the heists?
No, I haven't done hardly anything online.
Yeah, if you ever do Grand Theft Auto Online again, let me know and we'll do heists together. They're worth it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably pick it up at some point because I am trying to because the main game that I'm getting this year. I'll get to it in this list. Hold on. The okay, well the Division,
Mm.
the new Doom looks pretty freaking awesome,
Did you
but
say Dune?
Doom,
Doom.
yeah,
Okay. I was about to
it's
say a new Dune game. Holy crap! I didn't know that was still relevant.
yeah, David Lynch is part of it and everything. But
I'm gonna
the
go kill some sandworms, and then I'm gonna ride them.
there's actually a hardcore band called Shai Hulud, which they got their name from Dune.
Right.
But
Childhood.
um, let's see, not really into FIFA. Dreams looks weird. Have you heard anything about that?
Now,
It's by the same developer, Media Molecule. They're the guys who did what was those games with the little cute little dude from PlayStation? He's like a cute little
Big
like
Bad or
hacky sack type dude.
oh, Little Big Planet.
Yeah, yeah. They did that, and this new one is like you paint, and it's like multiplayer painting thing to where people can like finish your own art, and I don't really know what it actually is other than it has something to do with painting. But I'm sure that they're going to have some major screening, which multiple people have said this, but if they don't, then there's going to be a lots of paintings of penises. But because
It's inevitable.
yeah. um,
Dicks, dicks, and more dicks. The game.
let's see. Well, my main big buys is this next one, which is Fallout 4. Um,
Oh yeah,
have
looking forward to that.
have you seen the stuff from it?
The you can get to actually build your own little fortress.
Yeah,
Uh,
like everything that I've seen looks awesome. Like,
mm.
looks pretty great. They're remaking Final Fantasy VII, which I've actually never played a Final Fantasy, so but
Oh really? Any of them?
well, I think I tried to play. I think I played a little bit of 10, a little bit of 13, but not enough. Like I didn't really grow up with it,
You know,
so I didn't.
eight eight was my first, and I never got to play seven. Like I bought it on Steam specifically to play it, but like Steam is weird because you have to also like sign up for SquareSoft's thing, and I could never get the two to like play well together.
Hmm.
So I have it. It's on my Steam account, but I can't play it. It's so frustrating because I really want to play this game that everybody gets like said, "Oh, best game ever, you gotta play it. And you're not a gamer if you haven't played it." And I'm like, "Duh."
Well, I actually didn't get like completely really like into games until I actually moved out. Like
Mm.
before, like when I was living with my parents and going to high school and all that stuff, I was just playing hardcore bands, and that was really
Yeah.
it. So, there's a new game called For Honor coming out, which
Mm.
is kind of it's a like a either 4-on-4 or a 2-on-2 multiplayer game that it's like swordplay and things, and
Okay.
so it looks pretty cool. I think there's some AI in there too, so
Mm.
but but I could probably send you some video on that later. But it looks pretty cool, but I don't know if I would be as into it as there's a Gears 4 coming out, the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It's like a remake of the original, not a remake, but a remastered, I guess. Um, Halo 5. It's funny.
Mm.
Halo 5 is called Guardians, and I thought that was kind of funny.
Mm.
It,
Oh yeah, Killed by the Guardians.
it,
Ha.
yeah. So
I never played the fourth one.
yeah, I played a little bit of it. It was actually pretty cool. Um, but I never finished the actual campaign. I played
Mm.
more on the multiplayer side, but not really in like matchmaking. I played just like
Mm.
with
For
like
funsies.
yeah.
I think the only thing I've been doing lately, like to get my first-person shooter fix, was PlanetSide 2.
I haven't actually played that much of that. I was like really confused at what was going on at first.
Yeah, like well, I played the original, and it's close, but it's not quite pay to win, but it's pay to advance and pay for like that's of cosmetic things. But it's a little bit better now because they don't just throw you in the middle of it, especially on the console version. They
Hmm.
have like this tutorial island for your first 15 levels, which is really, really good because you don't have to compete with some of the really big stuff that becomes available later on.
Yeah,
And the UI doesn't quite respond very well. I would constantly get stuck in menus and have to finagle my way through them. But it's a really fun game because it's this huge persistent world, like a constant ongoing war, taking territory and bases, and different classes and different types of vehicles that you can get and weapons, very customizable weapons too.
yeah, I guess Destiny's kind of pay to advance, but you have to pay for the base game. But I actually see, and this might not happen, but in a couple of years, the base game of Destiny might be free to play because
Mm,
how it actually plays feels like a free to play game. Like
mm,
like the base game is kind of a shell that really has
mm.
not much to it, and then like like this new expansion looks like they're going to add a lot, and like so it seems like well, even if you have never bought Destiny before, you can buy Destiny the two expansion packs and the new one for like $80. So it, they're pretty much giving you the base game for free, and all you're paying for is the two expansions. You know,
Mm.
well, not really, but I mean,
That's still a lot for
yeah.
me.
Well, yeah, it is kind of a lot, but
I mean, technically, you're getting lots of hours worth of entertainment, I
yeah,
suppose.
I'm really hoping it really changes it. I'm really hopeful for it. So, like, like that. Year one really wasn't all that great, but I'm hoping that
Mm.
year two it's just going to be like really come into form, and I can say, "Hey, Brett, dude, we got to get back into some Destiny or something," and you're like, "Yeah, yay!"
I mean, I'll keep an eye out, and if I like what I see, then if if I like what I see and it's worth $80, I'll shell out some money gladly.
do you have? I mean, do you still have the base game, or
I
do
do
you?
still have the base game.
Okay. Let's Mass Effect Andromeda.
What?
There's a new Mass Effect coming out, and it doesn't have a date yet, but yeah, it has this little trailer, and it's supposed to be in the Andromeda galaxy, so it's in a completely different galaxy, and it's supposed to be like years and years after like Mass Effect 3,
Right.
and but what confuses me is that the main character still has N7 on their thing. I was like, someone was telling me that it, N7 is something to do with something that's more bigger than Master Chief, Commander Shepard, and, and
Basically the same person.
yeah, but but still, like if it's in a completely different galaxy, you would think that they wouldn't even know each other. Like it would be completely
They couldn't.
yeah. Because I thought that the Reapers were in dark space, which was kind of like between the galaxies, between like a big concentration of stars. So you would think that the Reapers were only like attacking the Milky Way, and they were kind of a Milky Way threat, and not really, in the Star Wars galaxy.
I don't know. I don't think it's canon that Star Wars happens in Andromeda. Is it?
Well, what happens in Andromeda?
Um, I don't know. I can't think of too many things off the top of my head that are set there.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess technically Andromeda is far, far away, but it's the closest galaxy. I'd hope they'd have a little more. Yeah, they'd pick a different one.
Yeah.
I mean, that one that we can clearly see without a telescope, and looks like a galaxy. You sure? That's the only one you could think of, Lucas?
I
How
don't
about the,
know.
how about the,
Well, it
how
could
about the
have been
ring
a
galaxy?
galaxy that isn't even a galaxy anymore because it was also a long time ago.
Right. I mean, could have fizzled out by now. You don't. Of
Well, there's the new Metal Gears coming out.
course, yeah. I got the Phantom Pain. Is that the name of the new one coming out? Or what was the
The Phantom Pain is the new
trailer?
one. The
Huh?
one that you're thinking of is the one we got from PS Plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have that one too, but I haven't played it yet. I actually haven't played a Metal Gear Solid at all, and there's a pack that has like all of them in it. I was thinking about getting it, and because it seems to be something I would be into, like stealthy type deals.
Um, I gotta say, is it three? Three is a personal favorite of mine.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have to. There's a little bit of inventory management that's a little weird, but other than that, like the story is great, the action is fun, and the stealth is also really great. Um, Four is good, but the cutscenes are notoriously long.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, and
The
they're not all interesting to be perfectly honest.
There's a new Mirror's Edge coming out,
Ooh, interesting.
and I was actually one of the minority that really, really enjoyed that game.
Hmm.
I thought it was gorgeous. Like for I actually really like that kind of art form to where it's like
The
really
simple
yeah simplistic.
minimalistic and yeah, I've only ever played a demo for that. I've always wanted to see more. Just never got around to actually getting it.
There's a game called Moon Hunters coming out, and I think that's going to be an offshoot of Destiny, but you can only be on the moon and you can only play as a hunter. So
Okay. I think you might be what's the
misinformed.
shitting me. You might be shitting me. I think you're shitting
Yes.
me.
Okay.
It's a Vista game, right? Or Vita? Not Vista. It's
Yeah.
coming out for Windows Vista exclusively.
Kind of like how uh Fallout 3 for PC, a game that came out in 2008, a
Mm.
year like literally like 3 months before like Windows 7 came out, or the year that Windows 7 came out, and it's not optimized for Windows 7. Like you have to play on an XP computer.
Yeah,
And I'm
right.
like, really, guys?
Well, a little bit of forethought would have been nice.
But Have you seen anything for No Man's Sky?
Yes. Oh, that looks incredible. Um, that's is it all randomly generated, or is there like player generated material too? I know. I'm pretty sure, or I would guess like the ships and stuff would be partially designed by players, right?
I'm not sure. The only thing I've really seen is that thing at E3 to where he went down to a planet and he looked at some stuff
Mm.
and he broke some stuff and there's some things that were trying to kill him. But yeah, it
It's
there
all procedurally generated, and like every planet has its own type of wildlife, I think, and obviously players and ships shooting at each other.
hmm
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I will be looking for that.
let's see.
Like I kind of got burned out like keeping up with like E3 and game news in general because it's mostly um, game studios advertising what's coming out next as opposed to like journalists actually finding the good stuff and sending it along. But yeah, that game looks yeah really interesting. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like I thought that, but it also like they're talking about how massive it really is, but how massive is it really going to? Because like people thought like like Destiny was going to be super massive, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is it really going to be really that? You know, because he said that everything that you can see, you can go to. Like if there's a dot of light, you can go to it. I'm like,
Mm.
but there's a new Tomb Raider coming out, but it's
Yeah.
a timed exclusive for the Xbox. It'll come out this year for the Xbox and next year for the PS4. I really enjoyed the last Tomb Raider, like the reboot.
Did you ever play PT when it was still on
I
on the
actually still
store?
have it on my PS4.
Yeah.
I actually this is a thing I wanted to do with Max, and I've been trying
Mm.
to maybe I'll do it more close to Halloween to where I do like a
Mm.
Halloween stream or something. But I really want to put like since he hasn't seen it on YouTube or anything, I just want to like
Yeah.
see him who is not really a gamer
Mm.
play the game like in the dark or something and really
Yeah.
see.
Oh
I
God.
just want to see.
Is he even like a Silent Hill fan? Although, yeah, the trailer doesn't really have that much of a Silent Hill vibe.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. And but he like Silent Hill is kind of a nostalgic thing for me and Max because I played Silent Hill 2 at my house and he
Yeah.
would come over and watch me play like almost every day. So he's seen Silent Hill 2 played. So and then we also did that for Silent Hill 3. Actually, me and him went to Target and we scrounged up all the coins that we had and we paid for my Silent Hill 3 together in like dimes, nickels, and
Mm.
quarters. So that was a pretty cool.
Two is so good. It's such a good self-contained story.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's my favorite, and which I mean that's a lot of people's favorite, but
Mm.
I mean I'm not saying it's my favorite because everyone else because I'm told that that's supposed to be the best. I'm saying it's my favorite because I got it for Christmas one year and I didn't know anything about it and
Mm.
you know what I mean. I didn't hear no hype about it. You know what I mean.
Mm.
So like it has to be good if I liked it without hearing that hype.
Right.
And I was only 15. So.
Yeah, they're all just really beautiful and weird and quirky games. Did you ever play the original?
Yeah, I actually went back and played the original
Mm.
after I played Silent Hill 2. I played the
Mm.
original mostly with cheat codes because I had 3 and I wanted to experience the story of the
Yeah.
original before I played 3.
I
And
mean,
but
yeah, the original isn't all that scary because the graphics weren't quite there for that kind of thing yet. But still, yeah, the story is
and some of
really
the
disturbing.
some of the puzzles were like actually I have one on my PS3 because I bought it
Mm.
on off the store, and this time I actually went in without any cheat codes, and it's been so long since I played it, I don't remember what I was supposed to do. So like some of the puzzles are like you have to. There's a piano with some blood stains on it, and some of them make a sound, and some of them make a doop, and you have to figure out how to play the song. Like I mean,
Mm.
like when people say, "Oh, games today are so much easier. I wish games were harder like they used to be." Like I say that same thing to an extent. Like I don't want games to be so hard to where it's like I'm gonna play all this way and I'm gonna run out of lives and have to start completely over. Like Mario. You know what I mean? I want games to be hard in a way that makes me think. Like I always play even the Silent Hill games. I would play
Yeah.
the action on pretty easy and have the
Mm.
hardest difficulty on like the puzzles and stuff.
Oh god, I remember Silent Hill 3 on the hardest puzzle difficulty. This friggin' Shakespeare puzzle, the first puzzle
Uh
to
huh.
open that stupid door. Ah, and like I'm not like super familiar with Shakespeare to begin with. Like I knew like three of the like what was it, seven plays you needed to have a working knowledge to get through.
Uh huh.
And even then, it was like really vague, cryptic, puzzly clues on top of that. Ah, or that stupid keypad one, like really later in the game.
Because
You remember that one?
um,
It was
keypad.
like describing the keypad as a woman's face.
It's been a while since I played three because I only played
Mm.
that one once, and I played Silent Hill 2 like
Mm.
multiple times. So, I,
I just
um,
remember those two puzzles like really sticking out because they were so absurdly stupid, like unethically difficult.
I actually have both Silent Hill 2 and 3 in like the HD pack or whatever. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I'd like to go back and play 3 again because like I could probably play 2 with my eyes closed because I played it so much. But I remember the first time I played 2, and this is how I figured how long a game is supposed to be. It
Mm.
took me 20 hours to play 2 the first time around.
Mm.
And then when I knew everything, I could beat the game in 20 minutes. but the but yeah, so like when I went into games and heard that some games only last 5 hours, I was like, what? But yeah, like I remember, I think it was a recent game, maybe last year or something. I actually got lost. I didn't know where to go. And I was like, actually, this is so refreshing. It's been forever since I've been lost before,
Yeah.
because there's always like there's a waypoint telling you to go here, or there's someone saying follow
Mm.
me, and you're like, so that's the kind of hard that I like, to where I have to figure stuff out on my own. You know what I mean? Not that
And that
it.
kind of thing works better on like on smaller maps
Yeah.
or like medium-sized maps. And now everyone's like, "Oh, let's make the maps as big as we can. We've got so much space to explore." Except now they're so big, I don't want to explore everything. I don't want to look in every nook and cranny of the Skyrim map. It's a whole damn country.
Yeah, like sometimes I do get overwhelmed with like I like open world games, but sometimes I
Hmm.
get really overwhelmed. I'm like, there's so much to do that I'm just gonna quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like how you're going into a room that like there's books everywhere, everything's just shuffled, and I'm like, where do I start to clean this place up?
right.
They except for books, it's like little question marks everywhere. Okay, what we talk? I think we got off on a tangent. I think I was talking about Tomb Raider, maybe. Um, I know
There's the new
friends
one
who
coming
are.
out.
Yeah, it's the sequel to the last Tomb Raider,
Okay.
which I really liked the reboot.
Hmm.
I thought it was really good.
I rented it and my save file got corrupted, so I was very close to beating it, and then I was just like, ugh, I gotta get this back to the red box.
Yeah, that sucks. I played it on PC,
Hmm.
but so my I played it at probably about 20 frame rates per second, but I still played it.
60
But
FPS, so death.
I know some friends who are really excited about Shenmue 3.
Oh, that's right. That is coming out finally. God,
Yeah.
what does it take to make a friggin' detective game? For crying out loud.
There's South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Did you play the first one?
I never got around to it.
Stick.
Yeah, the Stick of Truth or whatever.
Yeah, it's fun. The gameplay is pretty standard, kind of JRPG with like some adventure kind of go in this place, find this thing kind of elements. It's pretty much. Do you like the South Park humor? Well, here's a fairly easy JRPG that you have to go through to get more of it.
Yeah, and I think the second one's probably going to be more of the same.
Hmm.
But I think that they decide like all of a sudden they don't want to play medieval anymore, and they want to play superheroes.
Right.
But
Yeah, 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 yeah.
the and then the other thing that I'm really excited about is Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, the new one coming out. Yeah. Oh, I love the old one for the Xbox.
Because because this is like bringing it back. I think because this game is going to be you can play it online, of course, but you can also just play it by yourself with bots.
Mhm.
You can split screen it. You can I mean how
I
beautiful
have the
that
I have
game.
the Jedi or and stuff doesn't aren't too overpowered. I just like flying around and shooting things.
Yeah, because the footage I've seen of the X-wing and the sounds and the Tie fighters, everything just seems spot on.
Hmm.
Uh, there's a new Old Republic, Star Wars Old Republic expansion coming out.
Really?
I think it's supposed to be free actually.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. That
Don't
they
quote me on that.
they
Don't quote me on that, but I think maybe.
I know Old Republic went free to play a while back.
Well, maybe this is a paid expansion, but it, but
Hmm.
the,
This is it's still like a free to play subscription, or you can pay for extras, that kind of thing.
yeah. So I actually might get back into that. Like I actually, it wasn't completely free to play when I started. It was free to play up to a point, and maybe like 10 levels or something. So kind of like a demo or something.
What class did you play?
I was Sith, but I don't remember if there was a subclass of that. I just know
There were Inquisitors and the Warriors.
I might have been Inquisitor.
Okay.
I was trying to do more of a mage like dude for Star
Yeah.
Wars, I guess. Mm,
I always played Bounty Hunter. I love the Bounty Hunter class.
yeah, I was thinking
Mm.
to get back into that because the new expansion, what I saw in A3, looks pretty cool.
What are they adding to it?
I don't know, it just looked cool.
Okay. I've heard worse reasons to be excited about something.
Well, I mean, at least I'm honest. I mean, like next time if we have some things that we want to talk about, we'll get more research on it, I guess.
Yeah. This is fine.
Yeah, there's a new Street Fighter coming out. Um, Street Fighter Five, I guess.
I don't know. I never got into the button mashing kind of fighter games. I think the only fighter games I've ever really gotten really into are Super Smash Brothers and Soul Calibur.
I want the new Mortal Kombat just because it's like super gory.
Yeah.
I mean, it's disgustingly gory, but
They did have that one guy that I really liked playing as in one of the older other Mortal Kombat's, the one that did the drunken boxing.
the drunken boxing. There was a
Yeah.
dude in did you play the like Dead or Alive?
Nah, no.
We played the free to play one for like a little stream, and this dude was like played the drunken guy, and it was pretty hilarious. But anyway, but it's a pretty terrible game. Like it had terrible controls.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was great. It was terrible. Awful.
Well, we had fun, but because it was us. But there's The Last Guardian. It's only coming for PS4.
Yeah. I know what the Team Ico people were on the PlayStation side. I was on the right side of the console wars.
Hmm. Yeah, I was. I don't think I was really into console wars. I just got
Mm.
whatever was cheaper at the time.
Yeah.
So like I had a PS2, and then I had an Xbox 360 because they were like $300 or $400 when the PS3 was like 600 and something.
Right.
So, and then I do have a PS3 now, but I bought it for like, $120 at GameStop used, and then I got the PS4
Mm.
because I actually really got into the PlayStation exclusives after getting the PS3. But there's a new Walking Dead game by Telltale coming out that deals with
Mm.
Michonne.
With what?
Michonne, like the samurai girl.
Okay. I never got into Dead Rising. Not Dead Rising. Walking Dead.
You mean Left 4 Dead? You mean
That too.
you mean Call of Duty Zombies? What?
Right.
Yeah.
No.
But
All of them. All of them. I just didn't get on one.
the uh, the new Ghost Recon looks really awesome. It's like an
Mm.
open world type deal, and it
Interesting.
showed different ways you can take out the same mission, like
Mm.
like stealthy or all guns blazing. But it looks really really cool. Like it was kind of the sleeper, like nobody expected thing at E3, but I thought it looked really awesome.
Oh yeah, that's one of the cool things about the uh, the Phantom Pain trailer, because what they have is like this one. It's one area, but after you do the story mission, it shows off how they just have different types of missions, but in the same location.
Hmm. The There's a new Rainbow Six coming out, which I'm actually kind of excited for because they're bringing back Terror Hunt. Because I used to like play the Rainbow Six games by myself and
Mm.
just do the Terror Hunts. And there was one time I got let go from a job, and I played one of the Terror Hunts on like I don't know Rainbow Six 2 or 3. I don't remember which one it was,
Mm.
and that was back when instead of having like regenerative health or health packs or anything, you just had like these three little blocks of health, and if you lost all three of those, you were dead, and you could not. I mean, there was no health packs or anything. Like you you had to go through there and stay alive. But I got through the whole thing, and I ended out the thing with just like one little block of health because I was determined to kill everybody in that thing after
Mm.
getting let go from my job. So I'm excited for some Terror Hunt because it'll remind me of how video games help coping.
Exactly. Yeah.
Looks like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is coming to PS4, which I have that for PC already, but it looks
Right.
I haven't played it yet though. The
Have you tried Life is Strange?
Actually no, I was thinking about getting it for PC, but I'm actually thinking about getting it for PS4 instead.
Mm. It's been really interesting so far. The final episode is coming out sometime between August 25th and early September, and can't wait to see what happens next. It's a really fun story. Do you know much about it?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm really intrigued about it, and actually that's
Mm.
one reason I was waiting because I knew that I would get so intrigued by it that I want to be able to binge it instead of having to wait. So,
Right.
but
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of screwed myself on that one.
yeah, the Uncharted 4 is coming out, but I don't think that's gonna be this year. But what they showed of that looks really really good.
Mm.
There's a new horror game coming out called Until Dawn, which looks interesting.
Huh.
It looks
What's that?
it's like it seems like a slasher flick. Like there's like these teenagers in this house, and there's a killer trying to kill them.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's going to be like a game like what's the game to where you can't kill anything, but you just have to get away from it on PC.
Uh, sure. Like what else?
I,
What kind of environment is it?
let me look at my PC games because I have it. Amnesia.
Oh, right, yeah. I kept trying to play that, but it was too scary.
So I
I
think,
couldn't do it.
yeah, like,
I don't think I even got around to meeting a monster. It was just too scary.
yeah, yeah. It seems like a game to where like it's not even like, oh, there's some freaky looking thing in front of me and that really unnerves me. It's like I never finished the Condemned game
Mm,
because I just, for one, it's not like, oh, there's bad guys, let me just blow them away with my shotgun. It was
yeah.
like I mostly just found a locker door and I had to beat these dudes up and they are crazy and have no um, mode of like self-preservation, so
Hmm.
they don't go down.
Right.
And like I was like it like gave me anxiety or something.
Mm,
I was like I can't play this because I would just it wasn't I guess it wasn't as scary as much as it was I would just just get a high. I guess that is scary. Just
mhm.
getting anxiety. It's just a different kind of scary than what.
It's sort of like a looming kind of terror and doom,
Yeah,
just at the nape of your neck, just always, just constantly there.
yeah.
Nerve wracking.
And I think I do have the Evil Within, and I haven't really played that as much because it's kind of like that too. Because I
Mm.
remember the last mission that I played it actually, the last time I played it for an extra life. And I got through this whole thing, and I only had like 3 bullets. And these dudes were like coming at me, and half the time I was just trying to like not let them spot me because I could kill him if I got a headshot, but half the
Mm.
time I would aim at him and then I'd miss, and I'm like, crap, now I don't have enough bullets, and I got. But yeah, it was pretty. But I think later on you'll probably have more ammunition and things like that.
Mm.
But but anyway, I guess I could link you to Until Dawn. So
Okay.
huh? Where's my? Oh, there was an address in my address bar when I searched it up. I was like, how am I supposed to share this? So
Mm.
I just used the little share button on the the thingy thing, the YouTubies. So it's a little short one. Um, there's also a little cute game called Unravel. It seems like it's like a little
Mm.
platformer where you're like this little yarn dude and he's like leaving little yarn everywhere and something yarn.
Sounds almost like Little Big Planet-ish.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to have to edit that up a lot to make it a little bit more flowing than me just listing off games on the E3 list. Well, there's cuz that cuz I'm sure that would be pretty boring. But I figure
Do you think we have enough content or?
no, I mean just me listening. I probably like listen and find which ones we talked about a lot and which ones we were
Mm.
just like, oh, Gears of War
Oh, that
4,
sounds cool.
that's one, yeah. Well, here's one I don't even like saying. I'm like, here's one that sounds good. It's but I heard that Rock Band is coming back and you can actually use your old equipment for it. I never got any equipment
Interesting.
for it, but for people that have the stuff and never haven't used it in forever, they can use it.
I've got the stuff. It's just sitting somewhere around the house, and also I'm pretty sure the drum set is broke because people keep hitting it because that's what you do with drum sets.
Yeah. But if you get Rock Band, whichever one it is, 4 or 5, I don't know which the new one is, but
Mm.
it you can use it. It'll work with your new console and stuff.
It should just be like a sound station setup, and you just have to vocode whoever's or pitch correct whoever's singing. That's all the new Rock Band should be. Keep up with the times.
Yeah. I was actually kind of interested in Rocksmith because I can actually use my guitar.
And it seems so interesting. Do they have a? Does it also do bass?
I'm not sure
Aww.
because that would be cool if like one of us play guitar, one of us play bass, and
Mm.
we can. If they actually did drums, that would be kind of crazy. Like someone actually, it's like because the drums are an acoustic instrument when the guitar and bass, well, the electric guitar and bass is not an acoustic instrument.
Well, they make electric drums.
Yeah.
They don't have quite the same feedback, but still, they're out there.
I guess you would have to have an electric drum set for it to work for a video game.
It'd be so 80s. It'll be the most 80s.
Yeah, to make it even more 80s, you have to tie one hand behind your back, and all your beats are just like, like I sound like the biggest asshole ever, but every time someone would tell me, hey, Def Leppard, that dude, he was a drummer with only one arm. And I was like, oh, so that's why he kind of sucked at drums. So, because I mean, if you hear that he has a one arm and then you listen to it and you're like, well, yeah, that explains it, because all the beats were like, you know, but
Well, it's what you can do with one arm, I suppose.
yeah.
It got the job done.
He couldn't play technical black metal.
Well, he's got 2 feet.
Yeah. So, you been into any music lately? Like some new?
Let's see. Music-wise, I discovered Mew recently, but they've been around for a while. Been around 90s.
Huh?
They're where are they from? Sweden. Uh, I'm not. They're one of those bands that don't like to have their genre told, so I don't know the best way to describe them.
Uh huh.
Uh, but I would definitely give them recommend giving them a listen. But I also really like the Spinto band. They're from Delaware, and they're kind of a sort of poppy indie rock band. Uh, if I could describe my musical tastes in one genre, it would probably be indie pop,
That's
indie pop rock.
Yeah. I think I have some like the recent finds actually. I just got into the band Alabama Shakes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of like I thought they would be kind of like a indie pop band, but they're really not. It's more like I guess you would call it like neo blues or something. But
Okay.
some of the songs kind of have like a Zeppelin vibe. Some of them kind of have this like electronic, like soulfully bluesy. It's really good. Like I would definitely give them a listen. I only album I have is their new one, which is Sound and Color,
Okay.
and
You ever listen, you ever listen to Animal Collective?
I actually haven't heard them as much, but I do know they're kind of like a psychedelic, like
Yeah.
like weird type stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what's that band? Uh,
Oh, oops, my phone's
like
still on.
of Montreal and bands like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't listened to Montreal in a while either.
Yeah, I like a lot of psychedelic stuff. Actually, the metal that I've been into has been like psychedelic, like stoner metal and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a band that I've been into for a while called Witchcraft, and they all their instruments and equipment and amps and everything are from the 70s. So they
Mm-hmm.
actually sound like they're from the 70s, like even though their album
Oh,
was
cool.
recorded in 2004. So it's more,
Kind of like a lo-fi type deal, or
yeah,
oh, cool.
like, well, a lot of like the kind of stoner doom type stuff is pretty
Mm-hmm.
lo-fi, because I don't really like really produced stuff as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I like things a little gritty, because even like if you think the like heavier bands, there's a band from France that I actually haven't listened to them in a little bit. They're called Plebeian Grandstand, and
Okay.
they're so gritty that it makes it sound so dissonant and like intense. But if it was really really produced, it wouldn't have that. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it sounds heavier just because it's so like when you produce something so much, it almost sounds empty. Like
I like my lo-fi stuff to sound more fragile. Like, have you heard Karen Crush songs?
uh-uh.
Oh yeah, yeah. Karen O, she had a solo album out a little while ago. Give that a listen. Uh, whenever you get the chance.
And I've been into the dude. He used to have the project called Smog. His
Yeah.
his name is Bill Callahan, and I every album that he's put out I've liked a lot, especially
Mm,
the newest one that he did, which is called Dream River. And when it starts out, you think this is kind of like an alt country type deal, but it's so much more than just alt
mm,
country. It's like I don't know, man. Like it almost like puts you in a trance. Like it's like psychedelic alt country that's like
I've never actually heard psychedelic folk before.
yeah, it's pretty. I don't know. It's almost
Mm,
like enlightenment music, but
mm.
it's really good. It's Bill Callahan's Dream River. It came out in 2013. Like it's. I'll probably like listen to that tomorrow actually.
Mm.
the and I just downloaded this the EP by this girl who plays black metal, and she does it by herself,
Mm.
and a lot of her like vocals are really operatic and like
Mm.
um I guess just angelic. I Not operatic. I guess angelic would be the words,
Okay.
but it's she's from Norway, I believe, and it's it's pretty. But I think black metal in itself is kind of gorgeous because it's always
Mm.
been kind of. It's not really about being heavy as much as it is about being having these like. Yeah, it is fast, but it's like
Right.
I don't know because it's lo-fi too. Like if you
Mm.
think of some of the older black metal bands, it sounds like they were recording with a shoe, but um, I don't know. Like her name is Merker. Well, that's her stage name. Or
Right.
but it's Myrkur, and it's really good. I think so. And there's another
Mm.
black metal band that I've been listening to called Wolves in the Throne Room, and they're two brothers, and I mean I think they have some other members to help them out, but they just like live on a farm in like Washington State, and they just stick to themselves, and they don't like playing shows and like clubs and stuff. They'd rather play shows out in the woods, and they just like have an organic farm, and they think that the government is going to like brainwash them or something, and they're just like these survivalists, and they just play black metal. And
Mm.
actually all their albums are like recorded outside. Like you can hear like the like when they stop playing, you can hear the crickets and stuff. But it's it's pretty interesting. Except, well, I really like their new one, but some people didn't. But it's not black metal at all. It's more they just use guitars and synthesizers, and it's like
Uh,
really ambient. And another band that I've been into that's also ambient that a lot of people rag on, I guess, that just don't understand it, is a
okay.
band called Sun. Have you heard of this band?
No.
It's just two guys. Well, they do get some collaborators, so sometimes there's three or
Mm.
four, but there's
Right.
two main guys and there's just two guitarists. But they have like a wall of amplifiers between the two of them,
Okay.
and they just play like they'll just start playing notes and things like at this like ridiculously loud volume, and
Mm.
like it will be so low and so slow and monolithic and like just almost prehistoric. Like it's like like you would think like some people will have felt that they don't even have a conscious thought while they're at the show because the sound is so loud and so that the floor is vibrating and it's vibrating their bones, and their vision is like when you see bass in like a rearview mirror. Like it's so like everything inside of you is like in that sound, and it's pretty intense. And I've never seen them live. I've just heard them on the CDs, and I've seen footage of them playing live. And they play, and they have these like robes, so and they fill the room up with fog. So, it, like when you're at the live show, it's just you see these like figures in robes and like this fog and just a little bit of light, and it's just like, like that's all you hear, and like it's I really want like it's like sometimes like there's a song and it really only has about 3 notes in it, and it's like about 20 minutes long. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's just so. But and some people think, oh it's those Sunfellas. They just play 2 notes, whatever. But if you really listen to them, it's more than that. It really like they play with like textures and like how like um, it is minimalistic, but
Hmm.
it definitely has a flow to it. Um, my favorite thing that I've heard them play live is this album called Domkirk, which is, I think, Danish for cathedral, and they played that in a cathedral in Norway, and it's one in Bergen, I believe, and they actually used the organ, and they had Adia from Mayhem do the vocals for it. So it was like just this big orchestra of loud sub bass guitars with organ and like operatic vocals, and it was an experience. Let's see here. Have you have you been watching anything lately? Like any have you seen any new movies?
Let's see. Recently, I went to see Trainwreck with Amy Schumer.
Yeah, I've been wanting to
Uh,
see that actually. Is it good?
yeah, it's really funny. And I don't know what you're expecting, but it is kind of it is a pretty typical rom-com plot. But then it has Amy Schumer's stand-up material
Mm-hmm.
as the meat of it, basically. Yeah, it's really funny, and I would recommend it. And I also got to see Ant-Man. I was so excited and hyped for Ant-Man when it came out, and it did not disappoint.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I love that movie so hard.
awesome. Like
Yeah,
yeah, I heard some other people talking about it that they liked it a lot.
yeah.
Oh, here's a link that's a little snippet of someone recording a Sun show.
All right. Or smoking. Yeah, I'm gonna go with smoking.
Yeah, it's and this is at a church too. Yeah, it's see
Kind of
all those like um things behind them. Those are all their amplifiers. I mean,
right.
there's like 10 of them. So it's
Kind of reminds me of Did you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
yeah. Well, I saw the movie.
Oh, okay. In the books, they talk about this band called Disaster Area,
Uh huh.
and they play plutonium rock. Um, and their whole shtick is that they're so loud that and they have just like giant cities, like cityscapes worth of amplifiers.
Uh huh.
And if they play on a planet, it kind of destroys the infrastructure of the entire city. They usually play by remote control from orbit, just to be safe.
Yeah, that someone should tell Sun that they're playing plutonium rock. but, but yeah, they actually did a thing for like the deaf at one point to where they
Mhm.
had these like projectors projecting like these like images that were it was just like dirty images, I guess, not dirty, but
Okay.
it was like texture, it would just move around
Mm.
like how the guitar sound would be, but in like a visual form, just like real gritty and
Mm.
like just moving and stuff. And
Yeah.
they just played the music to where like someone who is deaf could feel the vibrations of the guitars and actually see the image on the amplifiers.
Mm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And all their like if their songs have lyrics, they're normally like based on like old Hindu text and stuff.
Okay.
Like they have a song called, well, this, I don't know if that's Hindu, but they have a song called Algartha, which is all about like this city that's supposedly inside the earth, and it's about going there and stuff, which I think is some sort of fable in some sort of religion that is Eastern. I'm not sure which one it is,
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
but but like their stuff isn't like just, hey, let's. It's pretty. I mean, they're pretty smart.
Mm.
They actually think their stuff out, but it's not accessible at all. Like if someone's
Right.
like sees I'm wearing a sun shirt or something,
Mm.
like I know it sounds hipster as crap, but I have to say that you probably would not be into them because I know they probably won't. I mean, it's true. Like these guys, they just play noise basically. You're not gonna
Mm.
like it, but unless I know that they do like weird shit. But because Sun is probably the weirdest thing that I listen to. That's
Mm.
like that's the least music that I listen to
Mm.
because there's really no beat or no rhythm or anything. It's just textures of loud noise, but to me sounds pretty good.
Right.
Let's see. My Morning Jacket has a new album out. It's called The Waterfall. I haven't really listened to it too much yet, but I heard that it
What
actually goes back to more of their older style of, because they actually kind of got more progressive in some of their later
mm.
releases, and it was
What kind of
kind of
music do they do?
what now?
What kind of music do they do?
Well, they originally were like, well, they are kind of like alt country-ish, but they were kind
Mm.
of progressive, I guess. Like the album, how do you say it? Sir Cuticle or is S or Circuital.
Mm.
It Circuital. I've never really said the name. I need to like hear someone say it, I guess. But it's kind of, I mean, it still sounds like them, but to me it's like kind of got kind of a Pink Floyd vibe to where it's a little kind of
Okay.
like it's a little proggy. But I think the Waterfall goes back to kind of like the Tennessee Fire or At Dawn, like some of their earlier stuff. But I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know for my own safe. But I uh, I do dig me some My Morning Jacket.
All right. Well, it's about 1 a.m. right about now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to head out.
All right. Well, I'll try to edit this together in some sort of coherent fashion. But
All
maybe,
right.
do you have Google Sheets or do you have Android?
Yeah, I got an Android.
Well, I'll make a Google Sheets and see if I can get some like notes together of how we could make this flow a little bit better
Hmm.
than this. Um, do you have any sort of social media that anybody can reach you at if they want to like um, get at you and like say, man, I think you're the best thing that Rock of Sea has ever had?
uh, let's see. I guess the best place to get me would be well, besides Facebook, which is for people I actually know, uh, would probably be my Instagram,
Uh huh.
and that would be BJY3120.
Okay. And do you have a Twitter?
I do not. Well, technically I do. I just never check it, but it's also BJY3120.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Yeah, my Twitter is at Awakened Heathen, and we also
Yeah.
have an at Rock of Sea, which I probably need to sign into that and start using that a little bit more.